Falcon fans, and of course, good old Falcon fans. You like that?
You like that?
You like that?
You
The
like that?
first place Atlanta Falcons. I like that. Um, man, one time for the fan. We are back talking Falcons football once again. Late night. What 10:55? Terry been waiting all day to talk to the Falcons fan base because I was at the game yesterday, so we didn't have no Sunday night podcast. But big shout out to Kerry, big shout out to Bodie, big shout out to this guy right here, Mr. T. Will, former ATO Sports. Terry, I want to apologize last night. A little bit too excited on your podcast. Probably let a couple curse words slip out unexpectedly, but that's because I was just too hyped up about the Atlanta Falcons making the drive back from Carolina. But there's gonna be so many more shows, thousands, hundreds, thousands of shows still to come here from former ATL Sports and one time for the fans. So Terry, big shout out to you, man. Big smile on your face. I can see it from being here on the podcast, talking to you today. You're energized and ready to talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So we got a couple minutes here to do a pop-up show. Glad you can be here, Terry. How you feeling, man?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel better than I thought I would feel.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly felt like how we played in the first half was gonna be how we played in the entire game. It's really difficult in the NFL to come off two very high plateaued victories in
Mm-hmm.
which
Against division opponents too, as well.
division opponents and tough division opponents in which you pulled out victory from the jaws of defeat and then go up to Carolina when you got Seattle next week. That's, you know what I mean? A lot of teams would have, I'm not saying they would have lost, but it would have been a lot closer. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say we played around, but we kind of played close with them in the first half. In the second half, we allowed 3 points. We came out, we took off, we took advantage. We got turnovers. We did everything we needed to do. We drove the ball up and down the field. We were able to run the ball. We were able to pass it. We had balance.
Something went wrong.
Shut
Please
up,
try
Siri.
again.
Nothing
Shut
went
up.
wrong. Nothing went wrong, Siri. We're in
Siri.
first place. What the
Yes.
fuck you talking about?
What are you talking about exactly? But I think we had a 199 rushing and 225 passing.
Well,
Which
200 yards rushing, you would say, because Kirk Cousins and
yeah.
you know how it is. Mm-hmm.
But the definition of balance, I like the fact that we were able to run the ball yesterday. The pass wasn't there, and you know what? Kirk said, "Hey, let's keep running it." So they ran it. So I mean, there's still some focus areas that we need to improve upon, but all in all, great team victory. Proud of the way our offense played, man. We're still picking up blitzes. I think that was great. I love to watch Bijan pancake somebody. And we ran the ball with efficiency, with vigor, with anger, and we did what we needed to do to win. So, and then how about Clark Phillips, man? How about Clark Phillips? First of all, on a block punt, having the wherewithal to pick that thing up at the opportune time, and I think he scampered
I
for
think he
like,
gained about 11, 12 yards on that, right?
yeah, it might have been 20.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but he definitely advanced it, definitely gave us a shorter field than what we would have had. And of course, that interception in which he goes down, right? Thinks
Mhm.
about the team, says,
Mhm.
"Hey, you know what? I could score here, but why? If I go down, we don't have to give the ball back up. Nothing happens. Game over. All we got to do is snap this thing 3-4 times, and we're out."
So let's
So
go to that quickly, Terry, because you talked a lot about the offense clicking yesterday, and of course you mentioned Clark Phillips too as well. A lot of fans are just not in agreement with Clark Phillips going down before scoring the touchdown. Of course, the game was definitely out of reach, and some fans are like, you know what, we haven't had these moments as a fan base. Score that touchdown, get another pick six, right? Get out there and show that Clark Phillips is about that action. Which the pick was beautiful too as well. Read the route perfectly, and whoever was the announcer at the time was trying to mention about Bryce Young being on the sideline and watching a professional like Andy Dalton. As soon as he gets ready to say he has to watch a professional, picked off quickly like that. So whoever that announcer was, I'm sure he might have to go back and edit that video because he was talking about Bryce being on the sideline and he's not ready to be developed and what the Panthers going to do with this guy. And it was just great to see Clark interrupt that moment for that announcer. But for me, the game was out of reach. And I'm perfectly fine with Clark going down. He respects the game, right? He respects it enough that he's not like the Saints last year when we was already down by 20 something, and they decided to give Jamal Williams a touchdown at the last second. Um, and for the fans that were getting upset with Clark, how come you didn't get upset with the offense after Clark went down? Why did they go score? Right? Nobody got upset with Kirk Cousins in the offense taking 2 or 3 knees and getting up out of there, right? But because Clark Phillips gets the pick and it wasn't a pick six, some fans were kind of go at Clark Phillips for that. But big shining moment for Clark Phillips. Great guy on and off the field. We talked to Clark too as well, Terry, at training camp a couple months ago. So
Yeah, we did.
big shout to Clark Phillips, man. These are the moments that these players live for. AJ Terrell, big shout to him too as well. Stepping up big joy yesterday, getting interception that was long overdue because I know fans were
mind when he got it. Lost his mind.
People, man, fan hit me up, was like, bro, that was like AJ's first interception in like 2010. I was like, 2010, goddamn. Nah, but
yeah, I think it was 2021. I think it was since 2021.
Yeah, 2021. So it's been some years, but big shout to Kyle Pitts too as well. I want to go over that too as well quickly. People think Kyle Pitts quit on the play. I think Mark Sanchez called it out as, oh, he quit on the play. You can't do that. For me, you're talking about a guy that also had 2 or 3 catches before that route. We almost scored on 1-2 as well, running down the side on almost a 52-yard catch. So why would Pitts just quit on that play? Why just quit there, right? Like that was just bugging me all day because I saw some fans talk about it. Like, man, he's quitting on us, and it's the first place Atlanta Falcons team. We're outrunning the South. We're on going into a 3-game win streak at that point in time, and the Falcons knew they were going to win that game. You can clearly see it. But why would Pitts just quit on the team? Terry, why would I just end this podcast right now and quit on you right now? You can run time one time for the fan by yourself. We're already running in, a great space with Falcon content creators, right? We got a lot of people who love the show. Why would I just quit on you right now, randomly? You know what I'm saying?
I would hope you wouldn't quit on me, Jack.
It looked like it was miscommunication. That's what it just seems so. I know people talking about the first step with Kyle and him, not running the route 100%, and it just looked like miscommunication because Kyle just ran routes before that, blocking perfectly, helping out Bijan, helping out Tyler in the running game, right? Remember the play where Kurt was looking for a check down, couldn't find nobody. Kyle was wide open, like, give me the ball. Kurt gave him the ball. He turned around, tried to make a couple moves. So why would Kyle just quit on that play? It just seems funny how fans just attack Kyle for that, or attack Clark for the not scoring the pick six. So
in all fairness, Jack, and maybe he didn't quit on that. I mean, he definitely looked. It could have been a miscommunication, but I do remember Kurt specifically saying, "Hey, I've been working with Kyle on getting him to run hard,
run harder, run faster." Yep.
And the only reason you say that is if a guy's not running out routes. If he's not, it's only I didn't hear Kirk say that about Drake. I didn't hear him say it about Mooney. I didn't hear him say it about Ray Ray. I only heard him say it about Kyle. Now, it could be confusion. I don't know. Look, Kyle played a decent game yesterday.
He played a decent game.
I've no issue with it, but we have to be fair. There have been whispers of this before. This isn't the first time that there's been a whisper of, well, what's up with this route, Kyle? Well, what happened here? And I don't know if it's confusion. Again, I don't know. I'm not in Kyle's head.
I think people are going back to the 3 targets, 0 receptions, 0 yards game earlier this season, where people are like, what's up with this Kyle Pitts guy? So I think you know what you're talking about here.
I don't know. As far as oh God, who were we talking about before?
Kyle Pitts.
No. Cornerback.
Oh, Clark Phillips.
Yeah, as far as Phillips is concerned, look, leave a man his dignity, right? Now, the only way I would have said scores if that would have been the Saints, because they would have deserved it. If that interception happens against the Saints, hey man, score. Lose your mind, go crazy, because they deserve that because of last year. That would be in direct response to what they did. I'd have no issue with that. But anybody else, the game's already won. You're up by 18 points. There's no need to score there. What I don't like about today's society is it's about the me.
Yeah,
It's about
it's about me. It's about right now.
me up here. No, it's not. It's a team, right? It's a team
He
sport.
thought about both teams at that moment right there. He thought about the Falcons
Absolutely.
representing the culture, representing who they are as an organization. Think about Arthur Blank in that organization too, as well, like scoring on a pick six. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like making a layup when you're up 20 points at the end of the game. You know what I'm saying? The other team's dribbling out the ball. Here you come, going to go make a layup just so you can get 2 points on the board. The other team's going to go over there and start pushing you around. Like, what's going on here, man? Game is
Well,
over. You know?
remember, you might be in that place at one point, and I know when the Saints did it last year, I didn't like that.
I
I
didn't
didn't
like
like.
it either. But then
I didn't.
again, the person who's mentioned that they wanted to do it, he's no longer on that team. And then the other guy, Dennis Allen, the coach who fans went at, he might be fired soon the way that the Saints been playing. We're gonna get to that too.
Yeah, but my point is, my father taught me a code, man, and it's just if you're up by eight, again, if you're up by 10 points, score. If you're up
Mhm,
by three, score. But it's like a minute left, if that.
mhm.
Right? You're up by 18 points. Just go down. Because
Yeah.
guess what? You score. Yes, you're up by 4 touchdowns. And not that it could happen, but you could piss them off. They could again, it's
Cheap
just not
shots, you something randomly can happen. Somebody's feelings and emotions get a little bit too much of them.
it's not good business, man. Just go down. Go down, live to
Yeah.
fight another day. We've
Yeah.
already won the game. Let's get on the plane,
Yeah.
fly back to Atlanta, and take on Seattle. That's how I feel about
And
it.
we
But hey,
and we've
go ahead.
seen some situations where players and teams getting ready to take the knee, and another team or the opposing team is upset, and the guy might jump offside and know that the game is over, and he wants to push some people around and try to
Yeah.
get some people ejected. Some things could happen. You don't know. You're playing a 1-4 team at that time, where it looks like most of the Carolina Panthers players have quit on Canales, has quit on Tepper. I talked to Panther fans yesterday at the game. They don't want to be Panther fans no more. They're glad that they are, they're still Braves fans during baseball season. But I can say, just seeing the Panther fan base yesterday was, you know, how do I describe it, Terry? Uh, they're not well when it comes to watching NFL football. Seeing that their team is already out early in the year, it's kind of like being a Jaguars fan right now. Season's
Mhm.
over. You got to prepare for next year. Most Panther fans, and it sucks, Terry, because you go into the year excited about what your team could be. You go into the draft and free agency, and you go to do all these transactions and like I said, all this stuff that the team has to do to get prepared for week one. And then by the time you reach October, you realize your season is over. And that's what
I
I realized with Panther fans yesterday. They realized their season is over.
I tell you whose season isn't over.
Hmm.
What in the world, Bo? What in
Hey,
the world, Bo?
what in the world, Bo? Going to these comments over here. Jeff Wolf is in the
Going.
chat. Deshaun Coswell's in the chat. Lisa Shepard, who I got a chance to talk to yesterday at the game, is in the
Peace
chat too as
and
well.
love.
We're seeing some good things from this team. I'm happy that Bijan and Tyler toned the rock effectively yesterday. That was amazing to see what that run game can do.
Well,
Tyler hitting over 100, Bijan having 95 on the ground.
mhm.
Two-headed monsters working out well here in Atlanta. But even for the first half, Panther fans, like just sitting in the stadium, Terry, it's a weird feeling because the fan back, like nobody's getting excited. They keep putting the get loud on the screen. Nobody's getting up. I felt like a fan of a team that's been there before, right? And of course, for us, Terry, we're in first place. There's a lot of trash talk coming from Atlanta fans.
Mm,
So for me, I'm feeling good because I know the Panthers are going to go 3-and-out right here. I
mm.
know they might score in this possession, but the next possession it might be a pick or a sack, which we'll get to too as well. We didn't get any sacks, but I'm hoping
Oh,
sitting there watching that game, as I talked about it before on the previous podcast, you got to come away with a dominating win. In the score, offensively, you guys did a great job. Defensively, pick, secondary, they went crazy. But you came away with no sacks. We're going to talk about that here in a minute because that's my area of concern. But
what up, Big Low? What up, Chris A1? What's going on? What up, Jay Black? Hopefully y'all doing all right. What up,
big shout
Terrell?
to everybody. Big shout to everybody in the chat. But for me, Terry, you know, I just noticed that the Panther fan base is just they're done, man. They're probably preparing for a top 5 pick. People talking about it could be Shadira Sanders, could be Travis Hunt. Travis Hunter ain't finna change the dynamic of that team. You feel what I'm saying? That team is bad on the ins and outs.
If you're Shadir, would you go to the Panthers, knowing what
You
you know?
have no choice. I mean, what are you gonna do? You gonna try to pull the oh, I don't want to play there, that type of move?
Do you know who Shadir's father is, sir?
Deion Sanders.
I'm just I'm just saying, if anybody would do that, if
He mentioned that he want his boys to go 1-2 or the first couple picks a long time ago. So now's your chance. It might be Carolina. At the end of the season, it could be the Raiders.
would you want your son to go to Carolina?
Shit, I'll tell you that right now. That was tough. That is tough being a Panther fan sitting in that stadium, knowing that, bro, week in and week out, and I got fans behind me, right? Panther fans, and they're just like, they're trying to have an argument with me about this team. And they're like, oh, Kirk Cousins, you got an injured guy. He's 36 years old. Like, yeah, and he's torching you guys right now. He's torching you, right? And it's like Panther fans jawing with me, and it's like,
That's just pride,
like,
man.
what are you guys talking about back there? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is weird.
That's it. I'm gonna be honest with you. It wouldn't even be fun for me, right? It wouldn't even be fun for me to have like a verbal jousting contest about our team versus Carolina because they perpetually suck. Their owner sucks. Their team sucks. Their pick sucks. Their personnel suck. They suck at the height of sucktivity as an organization. What can they say? The only thing they can do is say, I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. Like literally, they have nothing to say from a franchise perspective. They suck.
It's just boring in that stadium. It's like even when you're watching the commercial stuff they do on the field when the band runs out and the cheerleaders and the mascot, it's like, bro, this shit is so boring. Like in Atlanta, you have, I don't know if I'm just too drawn to Atlanta so much because I'm just down here or the team's winning or it's just that spirit I'm in right now. But bro, I'm watching their drum line yesterday, and they had some DJ doing some mix with the drum line. And I sat there and I said, bro, I need an Advil. This shit is horrible. Like, you can't compare this to what goes on in Mercedes-Benz. And it's an act of what is happening around the league with some of these organizations, Terry. Not everybody can just be as cool as the Falcons.
Well,
right?
I don't think it's that. I think that I look when you look at Tepper, and Tepper is a great businessman, but as an owner, he
Of an
leaves
NFL team, he has no knowledge of what's going on.
to be desired.
And he's running that team into the ground.
Literally, no, he down to the middle earth at this point. I mean, it's bad. Look at the last three quarterbacks that's left. Baker left. He's doing great. Sam Darnold left. He's doing great. I mean, hell, at this point, they might trade Bryce, and Bryce may go.
DJ Moore and McCaffrey too as well. All the players that leave Carolina seem to be having just a new look of what they can do in the NFL. And Bryce Young could probably be the next one to do that. But Terry, I just saw a team yesterday. I mean, Atlanta in dominating fashion, going out there winning on both sides of the ball, except for that sack area. That was kind of difficult. But they did keep Kirk Cousins clean offensively, so big shout out to the offensive line. Kudos to them. But, Terry, I just saw a team yesterday where even the Drake London catches, the Mooney catches, Ray catches, a couple of catches that wasn't contested. There was nobody there. Drake London running routes like his practice, literally, like his practice. And you sit there as a fan of the Falcons in first place, Terry, and you go back to years ago, back to Mariota, back to Ritter, back to Matt Ryan when he was getting to the end of his career. I'm just saying, you go back to those years and you're thinking about some of those games where you had that same look on your face as a Panther fan. You didn't know about the direction of the team.
Okay, this is the empathy.
You didn't know where your team was going. But now, a year later,
I don't know that it was ever the same. And
you don't think so?
No, I'll tell you why. Because we have an owner. We have an owner, number one, that is a decent dude, decent man. Sorry, Mr. Blank. We knew he was going to get us on track. He wants to win. He's not about that nonsense. He runs a first-class organization. Our owner's not throwing ice on people in their eye from this. Like, there's none of that nonsense.
Hey, that was ice water.
I would never feel like, oh, God, like that's got to be hopelessness, bro. Because not only are you lost from your personnel, our issue was personnel on the field. It was not personnel. It was not the ownership group. I have complete confidence in Arthur Blank. He's won before. We've been to a Super Bowl. His formula is working on some levels.
Mhm.
We haven't won the big one, but hey, we got there. We got there twice. Okay. I have no confidence. If I'm a Carolina fan, I have no confidence in Tepper. We suck today. We're gonna suck tomorrow. We're gonna suck 5 years from now. We're gonna perpetually suck. We live in a state of perpetual suckiness. We suck. Okay, that's a different feeling. That's no hope, bro. You know what that is? Let me tell you something. I hate zombie movies, right? And I hate zombie movies because there's no future, right? My wife and I have been married for 32 years. I
Mhm.
love my wife. But if I'm in a zombie movie and I wake up and she's, I got to hack her. She got to go, right? What kind of shit is that? That's a dystopian.
Kim's probably in the room like, that's how you gonna do me? That's how you gonna do me? You're not gonna try to find the cure first? They're gonna carry me with you?
At that point, if she bites me, I'm infected too. She's got to go. But
Terry, you get
that
a while for that, for mentioning if it was a zombie apocalypse. You wouldn't even dare take 2 or 3 seconds to find out what's wrong with the wife. You just want to just go ahead and just
Hey, if it's the zombie apocalypse and my wife wakes up a zombie, she would want me to do it. She doesn't want to be in that state. And then what am I? I'm gonna let her kill me. We're gonna go
I'm gonna
together.
give a couple pushes first and be like, yo, what's up? Yo,
And
hold on, what's going on? But then, I'm like, make a phone call or two if you
rat
can.
bite you like it doesn't take much. All I got to do is take some flesh, bro. You can't take a chance with that. And that has to be like how the Panthers feel. Like there's no future. It's like Mad Max Furious. It's a dystopian future for them. They suck today.
Shit.
They're gonna suck tomorrow, right?
So
Totally different than being a Falcons fan where, hey, all right, we sucked the past 3 years, but we knew what it was. We didn't have a quarterback. Guess what? We went out and got two. We're back in business, boys.
yeah,
Go.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's some quarterbacks out there, like we mentioned before, that's getting a new look in the NFL. And they got Andy Dalton, right? He's had some, not Andy Dalton, Sam Darnold, right? He's had some trouble in the past.
Like, I'm free.
Right? Geno Smith, he's had some trouble in the past. Now you see him starting a team with Seattle. You see him putting up some numbers. Baker Mayfield, been moving from team to
Like, I'm
team.
free.
He's playing well. They put up 50-something points on the Saints yesterday,
Yep.
right? But every player that just sits over there in that Panthers uniform, they're just waiting for their day to get that call and say, I'm up out of here. And they're like, thank you. Appreciate it. Right?
Freedom. Follow me.
Freedom. When they walk away from Charlotte, it's like freedom. That's why I keep going to that Panther group and it's like hashtag save Charlotte, hashtag sell the team. But Terry, let's go over quickly just a little bit about yesterday, man. Because man, first of all, the tailgate, the bus trip, Falcon fans, the Rise Up Tour fan club. Big shout out to everybody who came out to the tailgate yesterday. Over 100 Falcon fans in Carolina showed up to the tailgate. 2 buses full, Terry, of Falcon fans heading up to Carolina. I do have some information about Tampa coming up because a lot more fans yesterday signed up for a lot more things that we have coming up with the Rise Up Tour fan club, because there's a lot of people that do not know about the fan club. They don't know what we do. They don't know how we do it, but they saw yesterday at the tailgate how we have a good time, how it's a family vibe, right? So big shout out to all the members from the buses who pulled up. Big shout out to the bus drivers too as well, making those trips, because that one bus I think got in after midnight. I got back to Atlanta like close to 2 a.m. because we had the tailgate supplies and we had to put everything up and rearrange the truck. But Terry, man, just quickly, a 3-game win streak, and big shout out to Chase from DFU. We're gonna get the DFU crew on here too as well for another podcast soon.
You know what? I saw you in there. What's up, Carrie?
Big shout out to all the Falcon fans here in the chat. Terry, we got to go over with the 3-game win streak, and you see Kirk Cousins last week, 500 yard performance. This week right here, going over 200 yards again, operating on just connecting on all cylinders with his offense. Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier punishing aggressive runs from Tyler. The offensive line blocking their ass off. Defense playing at a level where they're probably I know they're back of the pack in sacks, but I gotta go back and look at yards allowed and see what they're doing. But defense is holding it down. Even though they're not getting any sacks, they are holding it down. They're getting teams off the field, and forcing them in some bad situations. But Terry, 3-game win streak. Are you looking at the Falcons with a new identity here? Because before these 3-game win streak, we questioned the identity, right? They wasn't getting it together just yet. They wasn't all the way there. Still the beginning of the season. But now, Terry, with a 3-game win streak and the offense that is just clicking,
Mm-hmm.
do we have a team that has a new identity here?
We're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting there. Good thing about our offense, we can run it or we can throw it.
Mm-hmm.
So run it.
And teams are scared of either one. And that's the thing that helps us, because when you have teams that only run the ball or only pass the ball, you're kind of one-dimensional. Like next week, we're going into a Seattle game where we talked about it. Geno Smith, he's going to pass the ball 30, 40, 50 times next week. It would be wild to see Geno Smith throw the ball like Ritter, like go like 9 for 16 or something. Like that would be wild to see that happen next week again with the Seahawks, because Geno, top 5 in passing yards and attempts, he's going to throw the ball 30, 40, 50 times. Look at his stats.
And guess what? If we can pick him off 3 or 4 times, we can be 5-0 in the NFC, Jeff Wolf.
But also,
fling it.
Kenneth Walker, he's a decent running back that you cannot let him gash you up the middle, right? Those zone reads that they're doing, you can't let him gash you in those situations because you're so worried about the pass. But Terry, you just mentioned it. Now we have a team that is clicking in the passing game, clicking in the run game, and teams set up for it. Let's go to Zach Robinson, the play calling for the past couple games here. Some fans were questioning it in the beginning against Pittsburgh and Kansas City and Philadelphia up until that last drive. But Terry, did you see yesterday against the Panthers, even with the incomplete passes, of course it's going to happen. But Terry, the routes that the receivers were running, Mooney, Ray, Bijan, the offensive line, the way they were blocking, Zach Robinson, Raheem, they got this team clicking. This offense is looking good, Terry. I'm going to have to go with they have a new identity here, right? They have something that I think teams are going to be afraid of going forward. And like you just mentioned, you beat the Seahawks Sunday. You're 5-0 in the NFC. The only 2 teams you lost to this season were AFC teams. One of them, who are the back-to-back Super Bowl champs, who I think they would probably even look at the NFC and say, if we play that Falcons team again, they could probably get us. They're really good right now. So you're looking in the NFC. Terry, the Falcons are number 2 seed. Terry, is it shocking that the top 5 teams in the NFL, the Falcons are one of them?
No. I felt like, again, even last year, if you looked at the weapons that we had without Mooney, right? Without Mooney, without Ray, without what's his name that got hurt and went down,
Rondo Moore. And Rondo Moore would have just added another level of explosiveness to his offense.
Right. But if you looked at those weapons we had without them, if you just look at the triplets, if you look at Kyle, if you look at Drake, if you look at Bijan, if you look at Tyler, we had the talent there. We added to that, right? So we have essentially, and that's I would like to nominate that run for Angry Run of the Year. Just saying.
Let me tell you something. You got a couple angry runs right here because he had 2 more. I know everybody's talking about this run. There was 2 more where he was punishing some people.
Yeah, man.
But this one right here was nasty.
Yeah, I got to nominate this for Angry Run of the Year. But anyway, what the hell are we talking about? You made me forget what I'm talking about.
We're talking about the identity of the offense with Zach Robinson, Raheem Morris, and how they're clicking.
I think this is an offensive team. I think our defense philosophy is don't let them get behind you. You know what I mean? I think our defensive philosophy is, hey, we understand we're going to get yards and you might even get down to the 20, but once you get into the red zone, it's field goals on. You're not going to score a touchdown on us. If you do, it's not going to be that many. And when Raheem and Jimmy Lake go in for halftime, they typically shut down the opponent second half going forward. When they come out in the second half, our adjustments have been really, really, really good this year. I think they scored on like a field goal in the second half, and that might have been the same thing with. I don't think Tampa Bay scored more than 6 points in the second half last week. So their adjustments specifically on defense have been great. We scored 17 points in the second half yesterday, so that's still good. And I think that's really one of the strong suits. I had a long conversation with Mark Chaney on Friday, getting into the numbers.
Big shout out to Mark Chaney, man. I got a chance to meet Mark Chaney's mom at the game yesterday. She was with Lisa Shepard. That
Yep.
is what you're talking about when it comes to fans who
Oh yeah.
just love Falcons football. When
Yeah.
I introduced myself to her, she was like, "Oh, one time for the fan, you're Jack Spade. Oh, that's what's up. Nice to meet you." And it's
First
like
class family.
this is what you want. You got a winning team that everybody's on high spirits. Everybody you meet, hugs, high fives, handshakes. People's excited. Like it's just great. So big shout out to Mark Cheney too as well. Terry,
Yeah. But he was really getting into the
you hear me,
numbers.
Terry?
And
Hmm?
yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. StreamYard is StreamYarding right now. Yep, StreamYard is StreamYarding. That's all.
So he was, he was pointing out the stats in the defense, and if you just look at our stats alone, devoid of context, our defense looks pretty bad. But we play with the philosophy, and that philosophy is you probably are going to get some yards on us, but you're not going to score. When you get down into the 20-yard into the red zone, right? We're going to condense that field. You're not going to score a touchdown. So we're gonna, or if you do, you might score one or two, right? We give up about 22 points a game. So what's that? 3 field goals, 2 touchdowns.
That's what we saw yesterday with the Panthers. They scored 20 yesterday. I mean, there was some times where Falcon fans were like, "How is this team scoring? They just put up 10 points against the Bears recently, and they got blown out by the Saints and all this, but they got 20 on us." A little bit worried in the first half, but I can tell you right now that second half, like you mentioned, it's kind of
Mhm,
like Georgia's team, like that Kirby Smart philosophy, right? You
mhm.
go into the locker room, your players talk, you go in there, you start talking, and at the end of the day, you come away with a win. You can see it right now that this team
Mhm.
is ready to go play Seattle. This team is ready to go play the Bucks. Whatever Raheem Morris is doing, this might be that Cinderella story for him. This might be it. We talked about this, Terry.
I think we have a super chat.
Uh-oh. And I don't have the soundtrack ready yet either. So I'm trying to one up Uncle Steve, who I saw in Carolina yesterday too, as well. Right. So I know Big Country has the dun 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 dun. That's a Superman chat. And
Man,
Uncle Steve has the soundtrack too, as well. We're working on some stuff here at one time for the fan. But big shout out to everybody who's been looking out for us on the Superman chats. It took a while for us to get to 1,000 subscribers. Going live at that, like we'll
mm.
go live, and just the blessings that we've got from all the fans have been overwhelming. But Jay Black here with the Superman chat. Dun, 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 dun. I was gonna do that country shit, but just a little bit more slow as I gotta break it down. He'd be like, dun, 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 the Superman chat. But nah, man, this is a Superman chat. One time from the fan for the fans. This is big, man. This is big. So big J Black 142. Jack and Terry and Shat. I believe that our defense would be an interception machine if the pass rush was just middling. What
Agree.
do you think?
Agree. I agree with
I
you 100%.
totally 100% agree with that.
100%.
All we're missing is sacks, Terry.
And no disrespect. Look, man, I love me some Zoe, but what the hell, Zoe?
He could have had that one sack when it was like, there it is, Falcon fan. That's what we need.
Doing? How do you let the red rifle
The
of all
what?
people, the red rifle?
The red rifle. So it's not the red rocket, right?
No, it's red rifle. How do you
It's
let
not the red rooster, right?
no? It's not
It's
the
not
red.
the red robin, right?
I say it's not the red rooster. I say no, it's not.
Because I was having a field day in the seats yelling out what this guy's name is yesterday. Because Panther fans were like, "Let's go red rifle," and I'm like, "Who is this guy? The what? The red rifle? What?"
Man, let me tell you something. That I don't know what Zone was doing. Like, bro, you have to bring him down there. Like, you got to bring him down. What are we doing?
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
whatever.
Some fans are upset with some of the players on the team who just can't get to the quarterback this season. And of course, that trade deadline is coming up soon, and there's a player that's already on the move. The Jags just sent a nose tackle to Seattle, so they'll have a new player on Sunday that the Falcons will have to scout for. But Terry, it's possible. I mean, the Falcons did sign a guy to their practice squad today, and the first thing that Bodie said in the chat is, "Can he sack?" it's like,
please.
you want to see a player, you want to see this team get from the back of the pack in sacks, because that's all we need to do here to really be a dominating team. And I'm sure there's some teams that's sitting around the NFL thinking, how the hell the Falcons are doing this with no sacks, with 3 or 4 sacks on the season? Because we're playing good defense. It's a team game.
We are, but we're keeping. Here's the thing, right? We're playing two deep safeties most of the
Yes.
time.
You're not doing anything 30, 40 yards on the field. Notice how nobody's ever beat us with like a 50, 60-yard shot down the field.
There you go. There you
It's not
go.
happening. Everything has to play in front of you. And with
Mm,
those two safeties back there, and now they're in rhythm. Remember the first game, Justin Simmons got there, we lost. So fans were like, what's happening?
mhm,
Now when you get to this game right here, you see that they're in rhythm. There's a connection between those two safeties in that secondary. They're
mhm,
communicating. That is really helping out what Jimmy Lake has to do,
mhm,
right? Now, Jerry Gray got them boys in line. Hey, Jimmy, we need some sacks. We need some pressure.
mhm.
Jay Rogers, get them boys up front at D-line now. Eddie
Well,
Goldman, y'all can do this. Y'all got this.
I'm honest with you. I think it speaks to their coaching prowess. There, we are winning without sacks. I
And I
really.
talked about it with Steve. I talked about it with Uncle Steve yesterday. I said, Uncle Steve, you mentioned it on our podcast earlier this year. Will fans be upset if the team goes to the playoffs and they have less than 30 sacks?
I
But right
won't.
now, with this amount of games in, you're very close to doing that. Terry, this damn, I ain't got my charger. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I do. Go ahead, Terry. You good.
I think you're gonna have to go and get somebody to trade. And again, I don't know. I don't know if you want to go and get dude with the Jets. I mean, but we need somebody because clearly looking at our defense, Jimmy Gray and Raheem do not like to blitz if they don't have to. They want to get there with four. And quite
And you,
candidly,
you've said that all season, and sure enough, Terry, for some reason, we still not be able to get there with four.
right.
Our
And
pressured sack, most covered sack was the D offered sack when we got it on was that Baker? I don't know, Derek Carr.
yeah, but we typically, even when we blitz, we don't get there. Even
Mm-hmm.
when we and typically when we blitz, we're gonna send five. We did a
Mm-hmm.
couple of stunts yesterday, and the issue that I have with the stunts is your outside coverage just was not there. So
Mm-hmm.
when you stunt, the guy going to the outside, you still have outside coverage. You still have to maintain that lane. And we didn't do that, which is why Red was able to spin out and go. I think he ran for 18 yards.
Yeah,
So,
and more quarterback. We mentioned that too as well. They would have torched us on some of these drives.
oh, wow,
Like
no quarterback, yeah,
that,
that would have been bad. But
it's tough, man. You're almost there, Terry. There's a lot of situations you saw it. You're almost there,
yeah.
right? I mean, you're like literally a second or two away from getting a sack. But you mentioned the other day, Matthew Judon's getting pressure on this side. It's
Hmm.
just nobody over here to finish that other side,
Yeah.
right? You got situations where David Amiata might be coming over here on this side.
Yeah.
There's no pressure on the other side. Some way, somehow, somebody's doing their assignment, but somebody else is not doing their assignment, right?
Yeah.
Or just in that case, with the way that players are moving around, they're blocking. Everybody's trying to get around. They're trying to, shed these blocks and try to get to the quarterback. Sometimes you do overrun your assignment. Sometimes you do get away from the lane you're supposed to be in. We understand that. But in
Hmm.
the past 3 games, I think you've generated 1 sack,
Yeah.
right? Now you
But
got the wins. Back
the
it
other,
up. Not mad.
the other side of that is if you're dropping 7 and everybody's where they need to be, it's kind of hard to do that. Now you can't give anybody 15 seconds. But
Mhm.
what I'm saying is this is the this is the dialogue that I think Jimmy and Raheem are having. Look, when we blitz, because they blitz Andy twice on that first drive, and on the
Mhm.
first one he threw a slant for 9 yards. They darn near got the first down, and on the last one they threw it for a touchdown.
Yeah, and they realize, you know what? Let's get away from the blitz and go back to regular coverage.
Right. So it's
I
kind of
saw
like
that.
I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. And guess what? They really didn't have that much success, even though we give up a lot of yards. Again, when you get in that red zone, I'd love to see our red zone efficiency because it would have to be at least 15th in the league. Because if you're looking at the yards we give up, we're probably 26, 27. You look at the runs, we're 26, 27. But when you get in that red zone, we bow it up. You know what I mean? We tighten up and you're not going to score. Now, are we giving up 13 points a game? Hell no. But if you're scoring 30, which looks to be where we're going to be at around 28 or 30, and you're giving up 20, you're going to win a lot of games,
Mhm.
right? And that's the way it goes. It seems like, look, we give up 17 points in the first half. Raheem and Jimmy go in and the players go in there in the locker room for halftime. All right, man, what are we doing? Let's make some adjustments. We need to do this, and they come out and shut it down, and that offense goes to work.
I mean,
To me,
make no mistake about it, Jay Black. Big shout out to Jay Black for the super chat. I promise, man, by the time we get another super chat, we're gonna have some shit together for y'all. Right? So I don't know if it's gonna be a song or it's gonna be, Terry running outside and we'll get him live screaming outside, getting in the car and driving to the gas station. I don't know. We'll do something. But Jay Black, you do bring up a good point here, because if you get a sack on 2nd and 10, you're now moving at like 3rd and 15, 3rd and 18. What team's going to run the ball in that situation when you need to pass?
Yeah.
Now you're forcing a 18 or more yard pass, right? Now you're forcing situations where you can play that coverage you always wanted to play because you got that sack, right? And that goes for certain series where even Aiden Hutchinson, oh, man, tough to see what happened to Aiden too as well. But TJ Watt and certain that was a nasty injury.
Is it tibia? Is it tibia? He broke his leg.
I think he has a broken tibia, yeah. But just seeing the injury too as well, the way he swung his leg around and wrapped around the other player, it was you would think like, what the hell? That's some YouTube. Somebody edited that? No way in hell that can happen. Yeah,
that's what happened to Garrison Hurst. That injury, right? And when you look it up, you won't see it that way. But that's what happened to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that.
But no, we're good. We're good. But so with the the Falcons and getting these sacks and so forth, you just have to get a team, a defense that can really push other teams back, push them back against the wall, push them back. I'm talking about where a team is driving up the field and that sack. Remember that sack against Baker? Was it with David Amiata? Was it the sack that pushed them back and then they had the holding call and sent them out of? That's what you need. If there's situations where it might come down to, hey, we got to get these guys out of field goal range. They're driving. We need a sack. I hear it all the time from fans where they say we need a pick or a sack. Well, looking at this team right now, I'm expecting the pick because I haven't seen the sacks.
Yeah.
So that's only my area of concern. Because yesterday, let me tell you something, bro. Even watching Andy Dalton like trying to just do his little stat padding passes at the end of the game because they were down 18. It was sitting there thinking, this is where the sack comes, right? They're in shotgun, 4 wide receivers. This is where the sack comes because all you're doing is passing the ball. The run game is gone. The run game's been gone since the start of the 4th quarter. So you're expecting a sack. They're down 18. They're not going to run the ball for the next 9 minutes and try to get back in the game. They're going to pass about 20, 30 times. Get you a pick or two, get you a sack. We saw the pick. Clark Phillips read that route perfectly. They're running outs to get out of bounds to try to save the clock. They just want to get a touchdown for their pride, for the fans. And where the fuck is Sir Purr? He went into the locker room at the beginning of the 4th quarter. He went into the locker room at the beginning of the 4th quarter, and I didn't see Sir Purr for the rest of the game. Sir Purr quit. He quit. Apparently, there's a joke that Sir Purr was seen exiting the stadium around the 2-minute warning.
Oh, wow.
I'm just saying right now about the Panthers mascot. But what I saw yesterday was I'm watching Andy Dalton in that last drive thinking, this is the stat pad hour. Fans have already left. Falcon fans are moving down to the 100s now because in Carolina, you can sit wherever you want to. Nobody cares. I saw tickets in the 100 level yesterday for less than $50, right? So Falcon fans, these are the times where you take advantage of these. And I'm going to go over this in a minute too about tickets and fans before I get up out of here. But I just saw it yesterday, Terry, like this is the chance to get a sack. They're going to pass the ball. And I didn't see what I wanted to see. I did see a dominating win. I called that the other day. Win by 2 touchdowns or more. You can't go into Carolina playing a team that's just got blown out 3-4 times this year, and you guys win 17-15. It makes Carolina look like they have a chance of being good the rest of the season, right? We had a chance to fight against the Falcons. Carolina's going to go into that next week game and say, we're losing this. We know we're losing this. The Falcons are going to that game Sunday saying, we have to outrun the South. We have to beat a team that's coming off a 3-game losing streak and a 9-day rest too as well. So Seattle's coming in here, long West Coast flight. I think it's about 5.5 hours. Seattle's coming in here like they need a win badly. Falcons are going in there saying, man, we can control the South with this shit. We can really control the South. I believe the Bucs have the Ravens And then the Saints go right back Thursday night to play the Broncos, who
Mm.
right now, look at the state of the Saints fan base. You talking about the Panthers? I think the Panthers could probably beat the Saints right now. The Saints are pretty bad.
Let's
And
not
this
go.
is the team that had 90-something points the first 2 games of the season.
Let's
And
not go.
NFL teams were saying, oh, shit, they host the Super Bowl. Yeah?
Let's not go
Yeah?
there. I don't know that this Panthers team will get another win this year. So
Oh, that is tough, Terry. That is.
yeah,
They do play the Bucks and the Panthers. They do play the Bucks and the Saints one more time. We do need them to get one more win.
those losses. Those will be losses. I'm telling you.
I'll give it to the Panthers. We'll give you guys 3 wins on the year. All right? Go beat the Bucks once. Go beat the Saints once. That's it.
I don't think that's gonna happen, brother.
Bro, look at the Saints yesterday. They are bad. Bro, look at social media with the Saints. They are
They
bad.
put up 27 points in a quarter.
Bro, the Fire Dennis Allen chants are happening. The Fire Dennis Allen post
Those folks are delusional, man. Like
are
what
happening.
do
Terry,
you
the
have?
crawfish etouffee is not
Bro.
seasoned the way it was seasoned back in 2010. And it's overpriced. The crab cakes just don't taste the same. And let me tell you something, Falcon fans.
Is that what
The
we're saying?
gumbo just ain't gumbo no more.
It ain't gumbo no more.
The gumbo ain't gumboing. And let me tell you something, Falcon fans, as we get ready to wrap this up here. The parade on Bourbon Street is going down. Now, you're probably sitting there thinking, Jack, what the hell y'all doing with the fan club? Well, when we beat the Saints a couple weeks ago in the Benz, we decided, you know what? We're gonna take Peachtree. We're gonna take Piedmont. We're gonna take Atlanta. We're gonna bring it down to Bourbon Street with a parade on Bourbon Street. But we didn't know that the Saints will go on to lose 3 more games after that. Or 2 more games after that. It was already on a losing streak coming into there. But Terry, the Saints now on a 4-game losing streak. A lot of the fans who believe that they could probably play in the Super Bowl and they're hosting it, they're gone. They're off the bandwagon. They're done. Now the true fans are sitting there saying, we need Drew Brees back. Now they're starting to come back out the woodworks. Bro, there's the podcast for New Orleans where fans call in and they give their opinion about the team. Bro, I got to play this video for you. I can't play it right here because it's way too many cuss words. But let me tell you something, Terry. That's ugly seeing what's happened down there in New Orleans, boy. I tell you right now, because we're coming out there in the next couple of weeks for the sweep. But before we get to that game, we got the parade on Bourbon Street. We also had the party at Razoo's too as well. So Falcon fans, if you're heading down to New Orleans, you definitely want to show up to the parade on Bourbon Street November 9th. And please scan to donate because we do have a large security presence too as well for this parade. We ain't talking about just no regular ragtag, chit-chat, blue flame type of security guards. Now, we're talking about we got, some of New Orleans finest helping us out because this is a parade. This is where you block off the streets. This is real deal shit.
I think that second Saints game is not going to be easy. And I'm
looking at Spencer Rattler yesterday and that team, it's going to be easy.
Let me tell you something, brother. You know I love you, Jack. You know you my man, 50 grand, but I could not disagree with you more. I think Mr. Rattler might be all right. That you got to think that was his first game. He threw interceptions. The young man showed some heart, man, and I think they'll play for him. Now I'm not saying they win. I'm just saying it's not going to be the cakewalk that you think it's going to be. And honestly, I think we'll learn what's going on. LBB, wait,
what's up, Eric?
Wait, little big brother, little big. I'm LBB. What's going on, BLB? What's going on? You all right? All right. I don't think it'll be easy. Whatever. Nobody cares, Eric. Nobody cares.
It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easy. You know how Eric feeling? He like, man, that's a dub in New Orleans. I don't give a damn what my brother's saying. Get him out of here, Jack.
I'm just saying it's not gonna be easy. That's all I'm saying. Because by then, Rattler will be comfortable. They'll be more comfortable with him. They'll install packages for him. They'll know what he can do. And again, man, I just it's a division game. I don't think the follow up games with the Bucks and or the Saints will be easy. I'm not saying
I
we
think
won't.
that Bucks game, I think in Tampa in a couple weeks would definitely be a tough one.
That's gonna be a
I can
tough.
say that.
That's gonna be
I do see a team in Tampa that they're going to try to fight to know they can't win the division. Hey, let's go try to wrap up that wild card spot. But I'm looking at the team in Carolina like they're done.
they're
And the
definitely
same way I'm looking at Carolina's team is the same way I'm looking at a team on a 4-game losing streak that was popping heavy shit the first 2 weeks of the season.
I mean, hey, look, man, I love it when they lose.
Eric's going at you now. Eric's going at you now.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
18-point victory, Eric.
The first half, Eric. Did you see how well? Why are you tripping on me tonight,
Look,
bro?
look.
To you.
Terry, I didn't go in there and say I disagree with you, Terry, on that trap game. Now I ain't want to do that one. You know what your next trap game is? The Cowboys game is the trap game.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's your next trap game. Your next trap game is your Cowboys game.
I don't know what's going on with them. I just want to know, is Micah Parsons available?
Bro, let me tell you something. To see some of these names, and big shout out to Larry from the Dixon Way too as well. To see some of these names that have been mentioned from some of the fans, because they're looking at all the teams that's having losing records. That's the first thing to do. Go look at the teams with the losing records.
Yep.
And what players won out, right? And let's look and see how we can try to get some of those guys at the building. Myles Garrett in Cleveland, if you think he wants to be a Brown for life, I don't know. I don't see it. Max Crosby does have a giant Raider tattoo on him, and he has mentioned he wanted to be a Raider for life. So I don't know if you guys want to delete those videos and get that tattoo off of him. But if you can, he might be a Falcon, right? I'm just saying in general, if you make the moves and try to get him. But I do see the Falcons probably working up not some big name player who's going to want a big name check after this season, but they got to get another guy to get pressure from another side. And that's where talking to some fans today, they were saying Ebiketie and Carter, there's some guys on our team that they're worried about, right? And they're not saying like Matthew Judon. Judon's good, but they're looking at Ebiketie and Carter like, man, guys, like what did Bodie say? Dr. Pass Rush? What did he say? Doctor of the pass? You said, where's the pass rush? But that's what fans are looking at, right? They're seeing an area of concern.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Nobody's bashing a player for not being able to get a sack. Carter is first in the division. Ebiketie is first in the division, just like the rest of his teammates. Mm-hmm. Though individually, performance-wise, he hasn't been able to get to the quarterback like how we're expecting. Mm-hmm. Some people will say, oh, that's Ryan Nuzile because of Ryan Nuzile. We don't have Ryan in there. Not Ryan Nuzile, Ryan Nielsen. We don't have Ryan Nielsen. We've changed the scheme. We went from 4-3 to 3-4. But at the end of the day, you know, some things happen. Some circumstances happen for those situations. I mean, yesterday we didn't come away with no sacks, but we came away with a big win.
Yeah.
Against the Buccaneers, we came away with a big win in overtime.
Yeah.
Against the Saints, came away with a big win. Now we got to go play Seattle. I do think we get a sack on Geno Sunday. He's throwing the ball for 40, 50 times. You better get a sack.
Or maybe
plan
we get
for it.
Interceptions.
Or we get 4 or 5 interceptions, because I think when you got a guy like Geno, and don't forget, Seattle's coming off of what? A 3-game losing streak. After they started the season, what?
They really should have beat the 49ers.
3-0.
If let me tell you something, if DK high points that ball and if he gets his feet down, that's a 14-point swing right there. All he's got to do. So, you know, hey, well, hopefully, look, don't get it together against us, DK. Wait until the week after next. I want you to play the same way you did in that game against the 49ers, DK. Don't you change a thing. You be as fundamentalist as you want to be, okay? We don't need you to get it together against us.
One thing I do see is Seattle looking at our secondary and saying, we throw the ball 40, 50 times like this, they're going to get 1 or 2. They're going to get one. Jesse Bates, Justin Simmons, H.A. Terrell, Clark Phillips, D. Alford, Mike Hughes, they're going to get one. And big shout out to Michael Abernathy. I know he's dealing with some injury situation right now. So I think they're going to probably look to maybe get Dane, maybe Krishnick is probably going to come up from the practice squad. How they're going to operate, practice this week with with another safety that they need. We'll find out. The Falcons are really good on updating the fans, quickly, with depth chart updates and stuff. So we have a big game coming up against the Seahawks. I expect to hear something definitely before Wednesday on who's going to be, that additional safety And DeMarco Hellams is out for some significant amount of time too as well. I saw DeMarco coming back like late November, December. And of course, when Michael got hurt, when Micah got hurt, people were saying, "Oh, he can probably come back, in like a week or two." Nah, man, Hellams is out for a while. So, Jay Black too as well in the chat says Seattle's having problems internally with their play calling. They may focus on running the ball at 60% when they play us. Let me tell you something. If I'm just like the Falcons right now, going in that room to look at tape and get ready for the Seahawks, I'm expecting to see a team throw the ball 30, 40, 50 times. Geno Smith has shown that, right? And I think for Geno, this is like his second or third year, I think, as the starting quarterback, where he's been in the top 5 passing leaders at this point of the season. So I don't know if Geno's just going to take a day off and just throwing the ball 40 times to try to get, his running back in rhythm. If that seems to be the focus of what they're going to do against the Falcons, well, then our run defense has to step up in a major way. But I feel good about what we have on that field, right? I'm not expecting that Kenneth Walker and the other guy to come over here and run for 300 yards on us, right? I see a team that is sound. I see the team that has gelled well. The chemistry is there to where they're going to force Seattle, if you want to run to ball, to throw the ball because of our secondary.
Yeah, we want you to throw to 114 yards rushing.
Yeah, we want you to throw the ball, Geno Smith, for 40, 50 times. We're going to get a pick. We're going to get 1 or 2 picks.
Yeah.
You're not throwing the ball in some locket play down the field like Russell Wilson. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with Mel Kiper Jr. when he was mad about the 2 safety thing. He wants to see safeties get beat over the top. When you got teams like Atlanta doing what Mel Kiper hates, having a 2 safety look that takes away the deep ball. But there are teams in the NFL who has got the deep ball. Look at Sunday. There was a couple of teams that got the deep ball. It's about how you design your play to get the deep ball.
It's that, but it's also the ability of your quarterback, right?
That's true as well.
One thing that Jaden Daniels does very well is he can throw that thing. Yeah. He can scramble. He can, because on a lot of his touchdowns, not all of them, but on a lot of his touchdowns, you see him scramble to the right or left or wherever. And then
a couple Jack Spade plays. He has a couple, like he's been watching my film. I think he might have got my tape.
He's the new Mr. 80 on the run, Jack. Sorry, man. You've been replaced. He is the new Mr. 80 on the run. I'm sorry. It happens to us all in this business, Jack. Father Time is undefeated. But he throws a very good deep. He does that well. Josh Allen does that very well.
We just saw that. Bills just came away with a win too.
Yeah, what's up with those field goal kickers? What the hell? Anyway,
Doink City.
Yeah, I guess it was really windy there tonight. But anyway, Josh Allen does that well. Lamar can do that. Lamar does a good job of scrambling and throwing. So there's certain quarterbacks that can do it. But
Russell Wilson used to do that shit crazy in Seattle to lock it. He used to do that shit all the time.
Do you know he's the 3rd string quarterback now? Like,
I don't even know. Honestly, right now, the way the Steelers are rolling with Justin Fields, he probably won't even play this season. Why would you bench Justin Fields when Russell Wilson comes back if you're winning? Justin Fields seems to be taking control of that team. That's just the way I see it. Jay Black said, "I'm sorry, Jack. I'm watching the Seattle game, and the announcer mentioned that Geno was complaining about passing the ball so much. I mean, he did hit himself in the head 15 times with the Microsoft tablet and then throw it on the ground.
I guess, but I don't know.
You had a team that. Let me tell you something, Jay Black, and I'm sure you know this, Jay, Eric, a lot of people in the chat. The team was 3-0. It's like the Saints. Remember that picture with Lattimore yesterday sitting on the bench with his head down?
Yep.
They were 2-0. Now they're on a 4-game losing streak. Seattle was 3-0. They're on a 3-game losing streak. That's how you're going to get in those situations. Everything is not working. You was on a roll. You are on a high. And the moment you start losing games like that, and I think San Francisco is now leading the division. But the moment you get to where Seattle was, we saw DK Metcalf yelling at the staff. You saw, whatchamacallit, Geno Smith banging the tablet on his head, throwing it on the ground. Whatever was working the first 3 games is not working now.
If you DK, you just need to be quiet.
I mean, I don't want to go over that. I mean, yes, true as well. I mean, I'm just seeing it that Seattle,
they're
falling apart offensively.
They are, but I mean, again, it's not just the offensive coordinator, dude. There's certain fundamentals you got to follow, Jack. Toe
It's like
drag.
the Jets. It's like the Jets when they played in London the other day when you saw Aaron Rodgers, and it's like, bro, how is he still playing? Like, come on, let's be serious here. He doesn't. There's not. This is not Green Bay Aaron Rodgers.
Right. No, it's not.
I
But
mean, there's some plays, of course, where receivers get open and you can make the throws and get down the field and move the chains. Most NFL teams, NFL quarterbacks, they should be able to do that. But the Aaron Rodgers I saw the other day in London, I sat there and I watched and I said, bro, no way in hell some team is going to give this guy $50-some million next year. No way in hell. This guy, the Jets, man, let me tell you something. The Dolphins, because of their injuries, the Patriots, they're just bad. And that's giving the Jets a position to say, well, we might make the playoffs just off of how bad those other two teams are. And it's not even like it's a fight from the Jets versus the other two teams. The other two teams are bad.
They suck.
The Dolphins have Skylar Thompson. They are bad. The Bills have, I mean, not the Bills. The Patriots have whoever. They are bad. But that Bills team, you're not beating them. You're not beating them. I mean, you almost came close to beating them a couple minutes ago, but you're not beating them.
It's just
you have to see them again, too.
It's fundamentals, man.
It's just fundamentals. A Falcons team now going into that game yesterday said, that's a W. If you come away with a loss, matter of fact, if you come away with a 1-point victory, it could feel like a loss. You're supposed to go in there and dominate that team.
No, hey, man.
You got to dominate them.
They
Sunday,
play by 2 scores. I'm good with it.
Sunday, Terry, I think we get a sack on Geno. I do believe we get an interception on Geno. And I do believe we get a win. 4-game winning streak as we get ready to head down to Tampa for my birthday game. I can call that the birthday game.
Scorpio season, ladies and gentlemen.
Scorpio season, ladies and gentlemen, October 26th. And I have to put this up here.
Scorpio season, ladies and gentlemen. It is official Scorpio season, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know, now you know. The best season of the year, ladies and gentlemen, is Scorpio season.
It is getting ready to begin. It's Scorpio season, ladies and gentlemen. And your boy Jack Spade is one of those Scorpios. So October 26th, my birthday, we'll be down there in Tampa. I want to give a big thank you to everybody who purchased their bus trip pass. Terry, Carolina bus trip was sold out. Remember we put it on the podcast. It was sold out.
Siri. Sorry. Siri doing
it. Siri just wants to be Siri. I understand. I think Siri just heard me right here today. I had to go ahead and hit the button.
Hey, Kim.
Hi.
Not you, Siri. Hey, Kim.
Okay.
Shut up, Siri. Hey, Kim.
Siri said, I'm Kim now. Okay, we're having a Siri battle. Let's stop this because now Siri is going off on my phone now. Let's just relax.
Think about Scorpio season?
What you said? The word season?
No, my daughter said the blood of Jesus. My wife is being funny. She's probably mad at the comment I made about the zombie apocalypse. You know,
oh my gosh,
that you know, not even hypothetical. That totally.
Kim heard you now. Now she's sleeping with that. Now she's sleeping with that thing underneath the pillow now. Like, yeah, you think you're gonna take me out when I turn? You think so? Got something for your ass, T. Will. What they call you on the show, T. Will? All right, Terry. She'll call you by your middle name in a minute. Jeffrey, if you want to get your ass over there. No, I'm just playing.
That's exactly what she was saying. She'd be like, "So if I was a zombie, you would actually
off me that quickly. You wouldn't even find out what happened. Like, you know, Walking Dead. Remember the Walking Dead in the barn? Remember they put the little girl in the barn in the Walking Dead so that way they can try to, you know, keep her safe and keep her away from, you know, getting hurt. And then they opened the barn and the little girl walked out. I was like, no, that was one of the worst parts of Walking Dead. It was like, Sophia's in there. Sophia is in that barn.
That was horrible.
That was horrible to see because, you know, whatchamacallit, Rick had to walk. Don't let me get back to my Walking Dead, man. And that's still Atlanta because they filmed it in Atlanta. So we kept it Atlanta when we talked about the Walking Dead. It's always representing the A, man. Big shout out to everybody who showed up to the tailgate yesterday in Carolina. Big shout out to everybody who's on both buses heading out to Carolina yesterday. But the bus trip to Tampa is now sold out. We've been talking about it on the podcast for weeks. Terry, you know, when we do our upcoming events and shout outs, we always put up he said Eric said I got 100 on Kim.
Kim, Eric has $100 on you if you ever become a zombie.
She gonna get you. Terry magically slips and falls. Oh shit! Terry get ready to go for the whack. This is what I told Jack about. Oh shit! Then slipped and fell. Hammer goes over underneath the dresser, and now Terry's bit. Oh god, Terry's bit and scratched, and now you're both turned.
Oh wow!
Now we got to rely on the daughter to get her. Get him. Another family member. Bus trip to Tampa sold out. We do have the party information that's going to be dropping shortly. So if you're heading to Tampa and you want to hang out Saturday night with some diehard Atlanta Falcon fans, that information will be out here shortly. Probably by the next podcast, we'll post it. But the bus trip to Tampa is sold out. I know fans are, they're hitting me up after that Carolina Panther win. Say, yo, I got to get on that bus trip. I got to get on that bus to Tampa. We're sold out, y'all. So big shout out to everybody that's on the bus. We're going to go down there. We're going to outrun the South the right way, right? We're going to turn up the right way. And it's October 26th is my birthday, man. So y'all come on out. Have a good time. I know some fans are like, man, Jack, we gonna get a bottom, man. We're gonna get you fucked up, man. You might not even make it to the game the next day. No, I want to make it to the game the next day. That's why I'm going to Tampa, right? So big shout out to everybody that's heading down to Tampa. But once again, I'll post the party information coming up real soon here. So big shout out to you all. But Terry, this has been great talking Falcons football with everybody here on the podcast up until midnight, right? I said we'll be over here for about 30 minutes, and now we're over an hour. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. And Falcon fans, I know you guys love talking Falcons football late because Terry did his show one time after the Eagles game at 1, 2 in the morning and had like almost 20, 30, 40 people in there talking Falcons football.
My wife was so mad at me.
And here I go jumping on the podcast at 2:45 in the morning in an Uber. Right, leaving Lincoln Financial Field, that area, hanging out with some Falcon fans. But Terry, man, the shout outs, man. Once again, we talked about the Falcons, probably a new look identity here for the team. Raheem, really controlling what's going on in the NFC South right now. Fans know this, NFL teams know this, that we have a really good team. We have a really, really good team. And before it was like on paper, but now we're seeing it. That's what I wanted to see, Terry, after the first 4 games of the season. We knew it was a good team on paper. Mm-hmm. Go out there and show it. Mm-hmm. Remember, we talked about it. If you go 4-0, how would fans feel? 3-1, how would fans feel? 2-2, 1-3, and 0-4. We talked about it for weeks leading up to those first 4 games. Mm-hmm. This is how I love how time flies. Now that the first 4 games are over and we went 2-2, it put us in a position to say, okay, the next 4 games, let's go outrun the South. Go beat the Saints. Go beat the Bucks. Go beat the Panthers. Mm-hmm. And they did. Mm-hmm. And now they have the Seahawks coming up here on Sunday. And we're expecting, hopefully, a 4-game win streak. The Benz will be rocking. Oh, and quickly, I'm going to talk about this on Wednesday's show. Fans who are upset in the past about, Mercedes-Benz, they have the PSLs and season ticket prices. And there were fans that were saying, you outpriced us from the Georgia Dome. Right? Fans that said, hey, man, what are $30 tickets at, man? I used to sit in the 100 for $75. This is a $3.7 billion stadium. It's not happening.
I used to fill my tank up in the 80s with $10, but this is 2024. I mean, get over yourself. It's 2024.
I'm going to talk about this Wednesday, Terry. Let me tell you something. It's bad when you're 1-4. I can tell you that. But I'm going to talk about this on Wednesday, Terry. There were fans, and I remember the post, and I remember people mentioning this. There were fans that were saying, I can't go to a Falcons game because there's not a winning product on the field. Mm. And the ticket prices at that time, Terry, were less than $100. Mm-hmm. This is Mercedes-Benz. I have the post. I have the receipts. Mm-hmm. That you can go into a Falcons game for less than $100 a couple years ago because the team wasn't doing well. Mm-hmm. But there were fans that were saying, I don't want to go in there to see no team lose. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see no team that's going to put a poor product on the field. And then some fans were saying, I would never spend $140-some for me and my wife to go watch the Falcons lose. Well, guess what? Now that the Falcons are winning, mm-hmm. You think you're finna see that ticket price again? Remember what you said? You wanted to see a team win. You wanted to see a winning product on the field. Well, now there it is. But guess what the price is for that Cowboys game? It's almost $300 to walk through the door.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the prices of some of these tickets.
Is that
for
for
some
two
of these
folks?
upcoming games?
Is that
The
for two
ticket
folks?
prices are going up.
Is that for two folks or one?
Oh, for two people, the cheapest ticket I found was $480 total.
Damn.
To go see the Falcons Cowboys game.
What's
so for the fans that was November 3rd.
No, but what section though?
Oh, that was the fucking 300s.
Damn.
Bro, you think I'm playing?
Damn.
You think I'm playing? So for the fans that were saying I would never go pay to see the Falcons in that stadium, and they're putting a losing product on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the price of those tickets. $45. I remember seeing the post, and I remember saying, "Damn, that's why our stadium is empty." Because when the tickets prices were cheap, you didn't want to go in there to watch the team play and support. I used to go travel around and watch the Falcons play in Chicago and Cleveland, all the places that wasn't winning, but they had fans in the seats.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just football. They're just there. They want to be a part of it. Atlanta fans were like, I'm not doing it. Unless you're winning, I'll go buy the ticket. Now that we're winning, the ticket prices that went up.
Well, somebody's buying them.
Well, now you got fans upset saying, what the hell? Why the ticket prices so expensive? We're winning.
Yeah, I think those people that are just look, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You know, either your team's going to suck and they're going to be affordable, or they're going to be good and you're not going to be able to afford them. And there you go. So work it out. Stop bitching and moaning.
I'm talking about this Wednesday, man. Eric, I'm talking about this Wednesday, Terry. Mm-hmm. The fans that were complaining about you didn't want to go support them when we needed your support.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me tell you something. That game Sunday, that shit is packed.
Back then,
that shit is.
Now I'm hot, y'all.
That shit is packed to the T Sunday. The season tickets sold out before the season started. That just lets you know.
Anyway,
that lets you know what's going on in that Benz.
They don't need y'all.
They don't need you. They don't. Them same complaining fans. They don't need you.
Yeah, they sold out.
They outpriced you with winning.
Mm-hmm.
You had your money ready for. I'm going to see these Falcons this year. Yo, wait till they go to that Saints game. I'm gonna go see them. Wait, the Saints tickets is $500. Oh shit. Mm-hmm. Wait, the Falcons won. I'm gonna go to that Cowboys game. Don't worry, I'm gonna step in the Benz this year. Oh shit, the prices is $480 to walk in.
Bro, the sad part is those Falcon tickets are nothing like those Bulldogs tickets.
Bro,
you talk about an expensive ticket, bro. That Georgia Alabama game, the lowest ticket I saw was $800.
That was 2 months of a car note right there for that damn
lowest
Georgia Alabama game.
Was $800. So I mean, if you look, this is 2024, people. If you look, it costs. The food is cheap for a reason.
Yeah, the cheapest NFL food across the league, and then the ticket prices are now going up. But hey, let me tell you something. When you got a team that wins, that's what happens. Mm-hmm. So Wednesday we'll talk about the fans who complained about the tickets when the team wasn't winning, and now they're complaining about the tickets being so high because the team is winning. Mm-hmm. What do we do? You go get them season tickets like I did. No, I'm just playing. So, Terry,
have it both ways, bro. Pick a side.
I ain't got no problem with it. Shit, I'm in the stadium on Sunday. I ain't got no problem with it.
I'm saying people, pick a side. Yeah. You can't have it both ways. Look, I want to see a winner, okay? And I don't have an issue. I mean, it costs what it costs. I mean, look, if you can't afford it, stay at home. Watch it on TV.
It's not even just the afford part. It's the people who are complaining about the prices being so high. Now, some people are just agreeing. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna stay home. I love staying at home and watch the game. I love cooking with my family, setting up my TV in the backyard. There's some fans who will do that all day. Not saying them, but there are some fans who post about, man, them ticket prices. What are you gonna do now that we're winning?
Let me tell you something.
Going up. And that playoff game, don't get that playoff email in a month or two,
bro.
Because you ain't getting no $80 tickets up in now.
But guess what? People make assurance. People they make sacrifices for what they want. So if they really wanted to go, they would go. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you get on there and bitch and moan about it, look, if it was a Beyonce concert, you'll find it in your budget. You know what I mean? If it was, I don't know, pick an artist. If it was your favorite artist, if it was a Kevin Hart concert, insert whoever, right? But people pick and choose who they want to do that with. It's what they value. So when you say it's too much, no, what you're saying is you just don't value the Falcons, and that's cool. You don't have to. They don't need you.
And
They don't.
and it goes to the fan club because people asked me Sunday. They said, "Y'all was in London?" Like, yeah, we went to London. It was like, "Y'all was in such and such years ago." Like, yeah, we were there. They were like, "Damn, the Falcon wasn't winning." And I turned and I was like, "The Falcons ain't got to be winning for me to go travel to these games."
There you go.
I booked my shit in May. I don't care what the record is in November.
Yeah.
I'm going to the game.
My brother and I, we have this saying all the time, and we say it's not about watching a team. It's not about winning a championship with a team. It's about winning a championship with your team. You know what I mean? Like, it would do me nothing at this point to switch hats and go to Green Bay and watch them because they're not my team. I haven't experienced losses with them. I haven't experienced devastation with them. I haven't gone through the highs and the lows with them. When the Falcons inevitably win a Super Bowl, it's going to be emotional for me because I've seen the down times, because I've seen them fail, because I've seen them get up and try again and try again. And I've seen guys that very well should have had a ring, but don't have one. That's what it's about for me. That's what it's about for my brother. It's not just about watching a team get a championship. It's about experiencing it with your team because that's an experience unlike any other. You know what I mean? And these folk don't get that.
Yeah.
They don't get that.
Yeah.
You know? So it is what.
Man, this is great. Once again, man, we want to just talk for 30 minutes. Terry, I told you oh shit. I gotta get up out of here. Yeah, I'm looking at the time. It's 12:11. I'm like, oh shit, I got this league that's about to start in a minute.
Shout outs, man. Let's go. So hey, shout out to all the fans in the chat. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming out on a Monday. Hey man, we can't do this without you. We love you. We appreciate you. And hey man, rise up to all of y'all. Gotta thank God, thank my family, thank my wife. Thank obviously Jack and Eric and Big Low and Smitty and Chris A1 and Berto Damas and Mark Cheney and shit. Who am I forgetting? I said Big Low. I said A1. Oh yeah, C-Dub, Lisa Shepard, Tiff Raines, and Jabri Harper, and just everybody. If I forgot you, I'm sorry. Thank everyone. Thank God. Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm trying to be quick, Jack. I can be reached here at One Time for the Fan. I can be reached. You can see me here at One Time for the Fan on Sunday nights at 8, Wednesday nights at 8, Friday mornings at 9. Also, I can be reached at For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. I need all the subscribers I can get. You can see me there Friday nights and typically Monday after the game or Sunday, just depends. And that's all I have. Jack, I appreciate you, sir. As long as you keep inviting me, I'll keep coming back, and I'm going to defer to you. Jack, go right ahead.
Hey, thank you all. You're not being quick. Taking a.
Why are you messing with me today, Eric? That's all I want to know. Wow. On me. Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
This guy.
Hey, look, Falcon fans. It's just great to talk Falcons football with you on October 14th and October 15th in one podcast because we started the show yesterday and it's a new day today.
We did
this what it's about.
Jack. We did the
Hey, let me tell you something. We're preparing for our first ever 24-hour stream. Nah, he said trap game. He's still talking about that trap game. Carolina's the trap game at 1-4. Nasty ass fan base sitting over there. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna lie. Before I get up out of here, I was sitting there in the stadium yesterday, Terry, talking to Panther fans and hearing what they were saying. And I was like, I wanted to turn around and say, I didn't get this in Philadelphia. And that's one of apparently one of the worst fan bases ever. I didn't get this in Philly. But for you guys, for some strange, bro, they were wearing 28-3 hats. They were wearing the Patriot Falcons shirts in the stadium. And I'm like, where you guys getting joy from this? You guys feel good about this?
You know what they say, man. Misery loves company. You know what I mean? What else? It's not like they were going to do it on the field. They knew that. So their only entertainment would have been just giving you grief.
Yeah, and it's it's funny seeing them do the get loud, get up, stand up, keep pounding. You hear the stuff on the screen, you're looking up, and then they give up the ball. And it's like, come on, y'all, get loud. Like, come on. But my thing yesterday was running around saying, keep pounding those Panthers. And Panther fans didn't like hearing that. But the funny thing about it is, you're whooping a team's ass in their stadium and you're talking shit. And it's like, come on, everybody, join in with me. Like, come on, everybody's supposed to be excited about this. And you're looking around, it's just like a sea of blue. And they're sitting there looking at you like, I hate this guy. This guy with his Jack Spade jersey. I hate this guy. But then, you try to make everybody feel welcome. Terry, I did the same thing I always do. You get to your section, you talk to the people around you, right? You let them know it's going to be a fun game. I had a pee-wee football coach next to me, Carolina Panther fan. His son plays in like 12 under, right? So he's teaching his son about the game. But his son, I don't know. I don't know if his son like watched Philadelphia Eagles videos growing up or however it was, or Chicago Bears 80s fans, because a couple times his son was like, yeah, he pushed me. And I was like, what going on here? And his dad said to him, his dad was like, nah, son. That's a grown man, son. We ain't doing it to him. Wait, y'all plan this every game or something? Like, what's going on?
I guess they do. They pick their victims. I don't know, man.
So he, and he plays defensive line. He kept saying, watch the dude from the defensive line from the Panthers. I can't remember his name. He's like, hey, son, watch him. And I was like, no, you'd be watching 97 from the Falcons, Grady Jarrett, right? But every time I'm getting loud, the kid stands up, he trying to get loud, and he pushes me. He pushed me twice, and I was like, hey, man, hey, man, you look cool little kid, man. I was getting ready to goddamn give it to you. So far, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting ready to give him one of those.
About to fire on him.
Oh my God. But it was great to see, everybody's having a good time. We make jokes over there. I was making a bunch of jokes over there sitting where I was sitting. Falcon fans in front of me, a couple of Falcon fans behind me. So of course, when we're winning, the defensive chants, the ATL chants, hearing that in the second quarter, third quarter, at the end of the game, the whole stadium in that 100 level cheering ATL, the Falcon fans turning around and seeing it, Arthur Blank seeing it, Rich McKay seeing it. We have a fan base. And if we win on Sunday, man, I'm going to drop a video for you all. I think we're creating a hostile environment in the Bends, and a lot of teams are not really expecting it, right? You've seen it in other stadiums. You've seen it in Seattle years ago with the 12s. You've seen it in Pittsburgh. You've seen it at the Dog Pound in Cleveland a couple years ago, the Black Hole with the Raiders. But something's going on here in Atlanta. Something is happening. But people are understanding now that you just don't come in here and swag surf. You get your ass beat on that field, too. So it's fun. Eric Parker said, Joseph said they kicked him out of his section. That is true. They did kick him out of his section.
What did he do?
Joseph, I don't know what he did, but Joseph, remember I showed you the video in Philadelphia when he was pissing off Eagles fans with the screech? He kept doing that. He kept doing that shit. He was pissing off fans.
Yeah.
But Joseph walked over to me after the game because I had him on my Instagram. And I was recording, I'm talking shit, and I'm just like, I'm enjoying the game. And Joseph walks behind me, and I said, yo, Joseph. I get him on the camera, and then Joseph starts screaming. But the security guard comes over after I cut the video off, and she says, now, me and you had words already. And I turned to Joseph, and I said, Joseph, what the fuck did you do? And she was like, you know what he did. And I'm like, Joseph, I'm like, what happened? He's like, man, they hating up here in Carolina. I'm like, the Panthers are hating on you? Like, bro, they're 1-4. What did you do? I don't know, man, but they got me up out of here. So he was leaving the section, I guess, to head out because the game was over anyway. But yeah, they kicked Joseph out the section. They said he said they got mad because he wouldn't sit down. That seems like Joseph. No, that's Joseph. So if you're standing behind this guy with a Rise Up King cape with the feathers and the crown, and you want to see the game, he ain't sitting down. He's not sitting down. So I don't care. I don't care what fan you might be of another team. That guy in front of you is not sitting down. And when you tell him to sit down, he's going to tell you no. So Josh just one of those diehard fans, man. But hey, man, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Terry. Shout out to Carrie. Shout out to Bodie. I thank you all for everything you guys do at one time for the fan. It's from the fans. It's for the fans. You see it here tonight. Matter of fact, I got a cool idea for the super chat. For all of our super chats we've got so far, Terry, I think it'd be pretty cool if we give back to the fans here in the chat. So what we've collected from the super chat since we've had it. Maybe we can do a giveaway coming up right here, right? Terry, I mean, Falcons are what? First in the division. Fans are feeling good. Our super chats have got enough to where we can do a giveaway, right? It's from the fans. It's for the fans, right? I mean, I can go, hey, we can go, go to Dunkin' Donuts tomorrow morning if you want to get some breakfast or nothing. I'm just saying. But let's get back to the fans.
Let's do it.
It's always from the fan for the fan, man. I'll never, ever forget saying that. The fans help build this show. We're fans of the podcast. We're fans of the Falcons. And I do thank everybody who takes the time out of their day to jump in here and talk with us. Because it does take a lot to just turn on the microphone and camera and tell our families, we'll be away for an hour or two. Or if you got Scott Kurisic, 3.5. But I appreciate everybody. And I told Terry this. I think about this all the time. I'm going to think about this in the next couple of minutes. How can I make One Time for the Fan better for the fans? Right? How can I keep giving you guys what you guys want? Because Eric Parker's in here at 12 o'clock at night listening to us. You know what I'm saying? These fans are in here checking us out because they really,
giving me grief.
Giving his brother. And then when he gets off, we're going to go ahead and talk with him in the private chat too as well. Like, Eric, whatever you wanted to say, whatever you couldn't say on the podcast, you can still say right now in the chat. But let me tell you something. Look, even Eric Parker, like he just posted it in the chat that we're in with the other Falcon fans so they can come see it. It really works, man. It really works out together because we're in this together. And I thank you all. So my shout out goes to everybody here in the chat tonight.
Yep.
Kudos to you all for being such a magnificent fan base, for sticking through the trials and tribulations of the Falcons. He said Meg.
Yo, what's this Meg joke? So y'all brought that up in the chat when they were talking about you.
Let's not do this on the podcast. Let's not do this on the podcast.
I don't know what the hell is this Meg thing, man? Because I let it go because I didn't know anything about it. It's the second time I heard that.
No. So there's a long running joke in our chat. Me, DSGB Hall, Eric Parker, Sade, Kiera. It's a long running chat. It's a long running joke that's been going on for about a year or two. But Eric Parker put the skull emojis in this. It's just funny, man. They made a joke about me. They made a joke about me for some strange reason, and they just seem to keep it going this long. So and then they're good with the photoshops too. So I might even get hit with a Photoshop every now and then.
You have to tell me about this off air, bro. Because
I'll tell you about this off air. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. It has nothing to do with, we're not disrespecting nobody or anything happened, crazy or anything. No, but it's a joke that they have going in the chat that we use from time to time. Yeah, I used one the other day at DSGB Hall, so I got something on him right now. So I'm trying to build up the rep in the chat to have everybody go at him right now. Okay. But right now they all know me in the chat as
bro, because they were like, "Where is Jack having a show tonight?" And I was like, "He's at work." And then somebody said something.
Kiki, Kiara. Kiara.
And then I saw Meg, and I was like, I did the Homer Simpson, like, I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. So I'm just gonna fade into these bushes.
It'll just be random. Cause I might post, man, hey y'all, I'm busy at work. Y'all have a great day. Rise up, and he'd be like, busy with Meg. And it's like, what are you talking about?
Damn, yeah.
The Meg.
I wanted no part of that smoke. I didn't know what it was. So I was like, okay, I don't know what.
It's good to see you in the chat, though. I looked up one day and I was like, Terry's in here. Like, oh shit, where the hell have I been?
Yeah, I'll throw something out there every now and then, but I got my brother in there, so he's always on me about something, so I'm careful.
I mean, you see from the chat 24/7 when we talk football, it could be 4 in the morning and 5 in the morning, whoever's up, they just drop their comments in the chat. I mean, right now they're talking about Judon, Lorenzo Carter. You see they posted a Raheem Morris video from earlier, so we talk Falcons all day. So Falcon fans, I thank you all for being a part of this show tonight. Stay blessed. Have a good one. And we'll be back Wednesday night at 8. We got a special guest Wednesday night at 8. We're going to come back here and talk Falcons football with our special guest. Big shout out to Chef Matt too as well. He'll be back on the podcast coming up this week. So thank you all for being a part of this. And I want to say rise up and don't forget about One Time for the Fan, y'all. From the fan